In this video, I will be going over my exact practice routine so that hopefully you can get something from that and then improve your own practice routine after watching this video. I won't be going over like the exact times. I wake up and I practice my guitar at 7 a.m. every day. I'm not going to be going over that sort of stuff. I'm just going to go over how I practice and the methods that I use. So the single most important thing when it comes to practicing is practice frequency. Practicing daily. That is the most important thing. It doesn't really matter like the exact thing that you're trying to learn or how long you practice for. It's mainly just the practice frequency that's the most important thing. The human brain internalizes things and memorizes things a lot more effectively when it frequently revisits what it is that you're trying to learn, i.e. the guitar. That's why it's a lot more effective when you're trying to learn the guitar that you play, say, 20 minutes every day rather than 1 hour once a week. Okay, so at the moment, how I'm organizing my practice sessions is, I'm practicing daily. I do this every day. So I'm practicing for half an hour of what I call like the practical side, right? So that's when I play the guitar and I'm trying to memorize or learn a song. So at the moment, I'm learning, well, I've already learned it, but at the moment I'm like trying to memorize better Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits. I can play the whole song, but at the moment, but now I'm working on the rhythm aspect because I want to do a cover of it. So what I'm doing is I pull up a video on YouTube and I just practice the rhythm, like the just the rhythm, just the chords behind it all. I'm practicing all of that and I'm learning that in order to make a full like a rhythm cover, like I cover the whole rhythm, and then I like record to put on YouTube where me playing all of the lead fills over the rhythm, so it's like an actual song. That's my plan for my cover. But in the past, what I've been doing for this first section is just playing Sultans of Swing. Like that's when I was learning the actual song. About like 2 months ago, I was playing an hour. I like have this first bit of my practice session being an hour long. I found that is just, it's too long. It's too long because how I've organized everything. So I have a practical first half of my practice sessions and then I have like a theory side. So the first bit being an hour long is too much. It's just junk volume at that stage. I hope you don't fall into that same trap as me where you just practice for too long. I think half an hour to 45 minutes of like the practical stage, I reckon that's probably the most effective time you can have. I was practicing for 45 minutes before I started practicing for half an hour. I think half an hour is a pretty good time. And this section of my practicing, it really all revolves around any sort of song or practical skill that I'm trying to learn. Like, say I was trying to improve on like bends or something. Say I was trying to improve bends or vibrato, like another stylistic technique, or trying to learn a new scale shape. That would be the time where I would practice those sort of things. And as far as warm-ups go, I do warm up before I start to play. I think it's very important for your hands to warm up before you actually start to play stuff. Now for me personally, all I do to warm up is I play like the whole pentatonic scale, like all 5 positions. And then I usually just keep going until I run out of neck. But so I play the whole pentatonic scale, and then after that I pretty much just warm up just playing chords. Like I just go D, G, C, E major, E minor, A major, A minor, F, D minor. And then I just do like messing around with bar chords. And then after that, that's when I'm going to go really in depth with this. So after that, that's when I actually start to play Sultans of Swing. Like then I would go through the whole song, and then because I already have learned the entire song, like I can play the whole song, so I only go through it once now. And then after that, that's when I practice the rhythm. Like I literally just pull up the video on YouTube, and then I just play along up to tempo with that video. And then I set a half an hour timer on my phone, and then when that goes off, that's when I have to stop. And then I move on to like what I call the theory section, right? So the theory section, I'll literally show you what I'm working on at the moment. I also set a half an hour timer for this. So I've got a whole like book of like music theory concepts that I've written down. That's the Sultans of Swing rhythm. I've got 2 pages of that. So I was learning functional harmony. So like your tonic chords, dominant chords, subdominant chords, that sort of thing. Cadences. And now I'm learning chord changes, like how to hear chord changes. So pretty much this is where I practice all of my theory concepts. Theory is very important. Never skip music theory. It holds you back so much if you don't go out and practice music theory. I actually didn't used to practice music theory like 2 years ago. I just didn't do it. I just felt like this wasn't necessary. I was just the type of person to just go out and just like pick a song that I heard that I liked, and then I'll just go off and learn the chords to it, and then I couldn't even play it properly. Like I didn't practice music theory, so I didn't have good timing. I didn't have good rhythm. I didn't really understand the chords. I couldn't like play any licks or solos or anything because I didn't know scales. I just like learned how to play the chords, and then I just like half learn how to play the songs. Don't get stuck in that cycle. Please don't. You suck if you do that. Like I know I sucked. I was a terrible player when I used to do that. Not learning music theory just holds you back so much. Once you understand and learn a bit of music theory, you're like, what the hell? You're like, everything just connects, everything clicks, like it makes it better, especially from a creative aspect, because I want to get more into creating music, like the creative aspect of it all, and music theory helps with that so much, especially things like functional harmony. If you want to create music, learn functional harmony. It's so important. Maybe I should make a video on that. The reason that I split my practice session into like 2 halves is because, again, it all comes from the thing of practicing daily and memorizing things more effectively. If I do like the practical aspect every single day, then I'm going to memorize that better. And then if I do the theory aspect every day, I'm going to memorize that more effectively as well. So I'm essentially like doubling the effectiveness of my learning. Does that make sense? Personally, this setup of having your practice session split into 2 halves, like one practical and one theory, personally, this is the most effective way that I have found to practice. In the past, I've done only practical, and then like I'd only do the theory like once every blue moon, or like once a week, say, right? Like I'd spend an hour doing practical, No, like that was my whole practice session for the whole day. Like I just learned a song. But if you do that, you're the way I think about it is you're holding yourself back. If you combine the two and you learn both of them at the same time, whatever you learn in your theory, whatever you learn in your theory section, you can put into practice immediately into like the practical aspect. You could even, if you want, like do the theory first and then do the practical side second, so you can immediately try out the theory, like what you've learned theory-wise. Now, honestly, I do the practical when I'm learning the theory side, right? If it's a concept that doesn't take too long to explain, like if I watch like a 10-minute video and then I spend 2 minutes writing it all down in my notepad, I'll spend the next like 15 minutes or the rest of the practice session just like actually practically trying it on here. Like today earlier, I was literally doing that. So with hearing chord changes, right? Each chord in a key has a specific like sound in terms of like the 5 chord has the most like tension in the key, and then the 5 chord always wants to go back to the 1 chord, right? In the key of C, that's G. So the C is the home chord and the 5 chord always wants to go back to the 1 chord. This video isn't going to be me explaining how to hear chord changes. I'm just giving you an example. But like, I wrote all this down, watched a video, wrote it all down, and then I just grabbed my guitar and then I just started like practicing with it. So you don't be like super strict with it and like only play your guitar only ever in the practice session. You can still play it in the theory section, but the way I do it is that I learn a concept or a theory or whatever, and then for the rest of the like theoretical practice session, I actually go in and practice what I've just learned. If I got some spare time that day, maybe I will spend a little bit longer on the practice part of it or the theoretical part of the session. Leave your own practice routine in the comment section below. Hopefully we can get heaps of people bouncing ideas off each other and sharing all of their own experiences. That'll be awesome. I hope you guys got something from this practice routine. I hope that I've helped you maybe modify your own practice routine. Hopefully you've taken some inspiration from this video. If you learned something from this video, please like the video, subscribe, ring that bell. My name is Seth Webster. I appreciate you all for watching. I'll see you around.